My name is Elise, and I blog at Daily Coast under the name Elise. And I am here at Netroots Nation because I think it's a really great opportunity to just, see everyone all my friends who are also on Daily Coast and from other blogs as well. And it's a good, lively, fun party. I've been every year so far, and I would hate to miss one. And I've never been to Texas before, so I figured this was a good opportunity to come to Texas. And it also actually gives me an opportunity to visit my sister because she is in Houston organizing city workers with the SEIU. So she's been doing that, and I haven't seen her for at least 9 months, so it'd be nice to see her again. And let's see, what else? At the moment, I am just, working. I just moved to Iowa City, and I have been volunteering quite a bit with the Obama campaign. So spent the bulk of the primary volunteering, mostly doing phone banking on mybarackobama.com because I was moving around a lot and working a lot of extra hours, so I could do 10 minutes of phone banking here, 10 minutes there, and that was the sort of fastest and most convenient way for me to be involved and still get stuff done. And now that I'm in Iowa, for the first time in my life, I'll be in a swing state, so I'm really excited. Well, they say it's a swing state, so I'll be excited to make sure that Iowa's blue, solidly blue, and hopefully, maybe even if we have enough time, we can start to spread that blue out a little bit to some of those other states. I want to help Scott Klebb win in Nebraska. I want to make sure that Kansas and Missouri start to do pretty blue, so I'm excited about all that.
And what's been the focus of your activism before you joined the Obama campaign?
It's actually kind of been all over the place. I'm very concerned about the environment and very concerned about women's issues, women's rights to choose, a woman's right to decide what she wants to do with her own body. I've done a lot of work trying to get comprehensive sex education passed in Illinois through the state House and Senate there. Having a comprehensive science-based sex education for K through 12 is, I think, the number one thing that will bring down the numbers of unwanted pregnancies. So I really think that that's crucial, and that's kind of always, I've always focused on that, focused on the environment.
That's the sort of fight Americans activists have to have, which is just assumed everywhere else, isn't it?
The
sex education.
Yeah, sex education, and that's a shame, and it shouldn't be. And it's one of those things, that I'm the older sister of 5 girls, and they all knew when they were younger. I taught them sex education because I felt that it was so important to give them honest information, because people make good decisions when they have honest information, and they make bad decisions when they don't. So I wanted to make sure my sisters were not hearing things on the playground and that were not true and believing them. And I think that every kid has a right to that. So.
Right. What about the series of bills and moves Obama made a couple of weeks ago, FISA, Supreme Court gun decision, that sort of thing? Was that disappointing, or was that just a necessary strategic
No, a
move?
lot of people say that he is moving to the right or moving to the center. I don't think that Obama has moved at all, actually. I used to live in Illinois, and I went to high school in his state senate district, and I lived in southern Illinois when he was a state senator, and when he was a senator from Illinois. And if you go back and you look at his record from those times when he was voting in the Illinois State Senate, he had the same position on the death penalty that he has now. He has the same position on gun control that he has now. He has the same position on abortion rights that he has now, and on FISA even. What were the 2 things in his statement last October 2007? He said that he wanted to make sure that immunity was not part of the bill if he could, and he said that the most important thing was accountability. And he made sure that that bill had accountability in it, and sometimes politicians have to vote for things that we don't necessarily want them to vote for, or even that they don't want to vote for. But at this point, to me, FISA is not really the problem. The Patriot Act was the problem. And the moment that the Patriot Act was passed, that was the moment that the Fourth Amendment went out the window. If people are going to be upset about something, that's what they should be upset about. And frankly, the only way to fix that is to make sure that we win in November.
And so you don't think that those votes by Obama have had an effect on his base, or caused people to depart or anything like that?
For the most part, I think that I think the majority of the American people are concerned about pocketbook issues. I think people are worried that they can't get gas. I think they're worried that when they go to the grocery store, milk is 10 cents cheaper than it was the last week that they went. Living in Iowa, corn is, the price of corn has gone up. I mean, all these things that you would think, everything, prices of everything has gone up. And these are the things that affect people here and now, In the whole history of FISA, 28,000 plus warrants have been issued. And today, or even just let's look at last year, 1 million Americans lost their homes. So in the scope of things, I think people are a little bit more worried about home foreclosure and gas prices and jobs than they are about FISA. And, maybe that shouldn't be the case, but I think that, I think people know that Obama needs to win, and I think that they know that he'll be the person who can bring them, who can solve all these problems, or who can try anyway.